Hi, I'm Diego. So if you're interested in how and what actually goes into sound design, then this video is for you. I'm gonna be going over a sound design remake of a movie that I did a few months back, and hopefully you'll learn how to layer sounds and how to go about creating a similar sound for this particular type of scene that you would want to create for yourself. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are inside of FL Studio. This is the project file for this particular scene. This scene was from Kingsman, specifically where a soldier named Conrad, he was shot in the head by one of his own fellow soldiers because he was thought to be a spy. Let's take a quick listen and a look of what I will be showing you how to recreate. This is the original sound.
There's a simple explanation. I'm not Archie.
Fucking German spy.
I'm Conrad.
So after going through that and maybe removing some of the vocals to see what actually goes into these sounds, I decided to go with a few different sounds myself, some of them being after ring, cloth movement, sub boom, gunshot, and I believe that's it. Yeah, there was only 1, 2, 3, 4 sounds that I decided to go with, and we'll start going through these. So if we go ahead and just remove the vocals and just hear just the sounds. Okay, so the reason why I actually went with this particular type of scene, the thing that attracted me the most was the sub boom. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I wasn't too quite sure how to actually do it myself, but I learned. And that's what the sound design teaches you. If you actually choose scenes that go out of your comfort zone, you learn how to make these sounds. And that's the cool part about it. So I encourage you to do the same, to, pick a scene that's out of your realm and just go for it. But if you listen to the original and you listen to mine, there is a difference. That top end. Now, if you listen to mine, there's more of a crack and top end as opposed to the original, but that's okay, So something to keep in mind. Let's start off with the after ring. I'm going to pull up a couple of meters here for you so we can actually see what's going on here. I'm going to pull up an oscilloscope. We're going to use this one by Megascope. I'm also going to pull up a span and a decibel, specifically the stereo cloud, just so we can see, the reasoning behind why I chose several different sounds. So one of the first ones was just this ringing. It's just one note if you look at the spectrum here. For this sound, it looks like the stereo field is more on the left. There's more content right in the middle. The frequency for this one is at 5K. Now this one looks like it in the spectrum, but it's definitely different. It's wider. It goes both left and right. Has more of an attack. If you're looking at this oscilloscope, you can see the attack right there. Okay, perfect. We have this one, more frequencies by themselves, but this one's at 3. This one's at 10. Could I just kept this top one? Yeah, most likely. Oh, this one's more mono. If you're looking at this, I made it more mono than this one. This one was on the sides. That's probably what I did. So that's going to be the first sound. So let's go on to the next one. So for the next sound that we actually have is the cloth movement. And for this one, it looks like there was just one sound. What probably happened here is I rendered it down and there was probably just several other cloths that I put together. The reason why I render things down is one, because the processing is just way too much, or there was just too many layers. One of the things that I did like about this cloth movement is that I made it a lot louder than the original one. If you listen to the original one, it is way softer.
I'm not Archie. I'm not Archie.
You can barely even hear this.
Fucking German spy.
I'm not Archie. I'm not Archie.
Fucking German.
I'm not Archie.
That was cool and everything, but when I was looking at the picture, I just wanted to exaggerate it a little bit more. So I made it mono. I felt like it really popped. I thought that was cool. That was my own little thing. And again, I deviated away from the original, and that's what it's all about when you're making these sound design remakes. Make decisions for yourself, try to copy as much as you can, but at the same time, it's your own thing and put your own signature things on it. Anyways, that was for the cloth movement. So that was cool. I dig that. Let me play it with everything here with mine. Yep, there you go. Cool. So on to the next sound. It looks like we do have the sonic boom. So some of the sounds that make up this sonic boom, we first have a swoosh sound. One of the reasons why I probably chose this sound, just looking at the picture, if you can see that gunpowder just blow out and then recede, and that's the sound that I was trying to get. You see that? So that's cool. Gives me some left, right here. Not too dynamic. Tone-wise, it's right in the middle. Next sound. Sounds very similar. It's going after the same smoke that's leaving the gun. However, it has a different tone. lasts a little bit longer, as you can tell here in the waveform as well. This is another one just getting a little bit more tone, a little bit more width. As you can tell, it moves from center over to the left side. Next sound, same thing, going over to the right side now. So there's a lot of width being created by all of these sounds here. And this is the sound that makes most of the body. It took me a while to actually learn this. I wanted to actually learn how to make it just because I do make electronic music. There is a lot of explosions and downers, and this is definitely one that I've used, so. This, you can argue that it could have been placed down here and layered with these gunshots, but oh well, all together. Cool, cool. Sounds good. Let's move on to the next sound. So last but not least, we have the gunshot. So I'm gonna run through these sounds really quick so you can hear them. And as you can tell, they're all very, very different. Some of them do sound very similar, although they are tonally different. And you can see that by looking at the spectrogram. So let's see here. That one's a little bit brighter. It has more of an attack on this side. If you look at the timing of the sample as well, it starts a little bit later. That's mono. Very, very short sample. Another mono. Although both of these are mono here, tonally they're different. Different frequencies. It brings something that this sample doesn't bring. And this sample brings something that this guy doesn't bring. Now this is interesting. This sample is fading out, or it's panning over to the left. This sample is panning over to the right. The start times are different. And even the amplitude of the sample is different. If you take a look at this one, the loudest part of the sample is right in the middle. As opposed to this sample, the loudest part is right in the beginning. So that should give you a guideline of what to look for when you're picking sounds. So if we listen to them all together. And I do want to say that I wasn't really considering the type of gun that was used in the film. I just went with what felt good along with the picture. When necessary and appropriate, you definitely can and should find the sounds that complement that certain object. Okay, so that's going to be it. Those are the sounds that I used to make this particular scene, this very, very small scene remake. Let's go ahead and listen to it. Here we go.
There's a simple explanation. I'm not Archie from German spy.
So hopefully that has inspired you to go grab a scene from one of your own favorite movies and try to recreate it. And if you have any suggestions on what I could have done better or how I actually did, make sure to leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.